Yes, sir. I think we have to go now. One more, he said. Yes, sir.
Over the course of your career, has your husband ever made a stock purchase or sale based on information he's received from you?
What are you saying?
Over the course of your career, has your husband ever made a stock purchase or sale based on information he received from you?
No, absolutely not. Okay, thank you.
That was Nancy Pelosi being questioned, asking if her husband's ever made a stock trade based on information that she has given him. And of course, she's like, of course not. Why would that happen? I don't understand. I make my own trades. And just bends the microphone. Like, I'm done here. Ties it in a knot, throws it away. Absolutely amazing. And that's what we're talking about today. Going to have Joe Rogan calling out Nancy Pelosi quite a bit because... not just because it's Nancy Pelosi and he has a bone to pick with her. She is the most successful stock trader, perhaps in the world. If it's, picture this, top 50 in the world, she might be on the list of top 50. To have a job that gets her $179,000 to $200,000 a year and to be worth near $200 million is wild. She trades, everybody knows, she trades better than Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, whoever you want to put in the stock trading octagon with Nancy Pelosi. She's stomping them. She's incredible with it. Now, I'm going to play a lot of clips of Joe Rogan calling this whole thing out, the insider trading, how ridiculous it is. And then I'm going to play something that may stop all this. There are some people who are noticing that this is wrong. There are some people who are noticing how rich certain congresswomen and men are getting, both in the Democrat and the Republican side of things. And somebody wants to put a stop to it. Let's get into this real quick. Let's start with this one. Joe Rogan, Ice Cube.
The people in Congress are, to me, actually powerless. They're just theater at the end of the day.
Well, they're theater who also gets the inside trade.
Yeah.
That's the beautiful thing.
Exactly. I mean, they know where that money's going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They might not be able to touch it, but they can be on the other end to make sure they, you know, their investments are carved out and they make a pretty penny off of it.
Well, not only that, they do it openly in front of everybody, and it's not illegal. And every time people call to ban it, they like Nancy Pelosi's like, what? No, we're not going to do that. Why would we do that?
Yeah,
the lady's worth $200 million. She makes $200,000 a year.
Yeah, right.
She's better at stock trading than Warren Buffett and George Soros.
Yeah. Why wouldn't she be? She know where all the body. I mean, she know where everything is gonna hit.
It's
she
crazy.
Know what's gonna hit, when it's gonna hit, and how much it's gonna hit for.
And unless that's illegal, fuck you.
You notice Ice Cube at one point in that whole thing, he says she knows where all the bodies, and then he corrects himself and he says he knows where all. That's very, very slick by Ice Cube. This guy is a master of linguistics when it comes to speaking and rapping and rhythm and everything, timing and everything. So he didn't do that by accident. He's not slipping up by accident. He did that on purpose. Let's move on to the next clip. We got Joe Rogan sitting with somebody else talking about this topic. Let's go.
They have to do two things. Two things would fix a lot. They have to stop Congress people from being able to fucking insider trade. That shit is insane. When you see the fact that these people are making $170,000,
incredible. Oh, she's great at it.
She's amazing at it. She's a wizard at it. But it's not just her. If you look at the chart, that's the thing about it is they all kind of keep their mouth shut because if you look at the real numbers, it's pretty much divided between Republicans and Democrats. Yeah, it's both. Both sides are doing it. But that's crazy. They put Martha Stewart in jail for way less. Martha Stewart. They put Martha Stewart, America's mom. They put her in jail for insider trading, and yet these Congress people are completely exempt from it.
But it wasn't them, right? It was their significant other. I'm sure they weren't sharing any information.
Some of it's them.
Some of it is them.
Oh, yeah, it's them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they know what bills are going to be passed. They buy a shitload of stock, and they pass these bills, and then this, whatever industry is, goes up, and they make enormous profits. There's people that are making $150,000, $170,000, $200,000 a year, and they're worth $90 million. In any other business, you would be investigated.
Yeah.
And if you were a fucking plumber and you were making $190,000 a year and you were worth hundreds of millions of dollars, people would go, "What the fuck are you doing, Ted?" You know, they would crawl up your ass with a microscope. Where the fuck did you get this money? How do you know all these things? Like, where are you getting this data? How are you able to do this? Oh, you pass the laws? You pass the laws that changes the value of these companies, and then you gamble on that? That's what you're doing? You're going to jail. You're going to jail. Like that should be illegal because you're going to do things to profit that are above and that are ahead. You're going to put that ahead of the better good of the United States. You're going to. They all do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Absolutely amazing. Sitting there with Aaron Rodgers talking about this whole thing. It's very interesting. He's right. Any other business, any other person would be investigated immediately and put in jail. If it was you or I, we'd be put in jail. End of story. End of story. It wouldn't even be a question. And I will say this. He's talking about people who have these, $200,000 salaries a year, and they're making untold amounts of money. Just so you guys know, okay, this is something to think about. There are people like you and me who don't have all that much money. Okay. And they're following their trades because you can actually see when these Congress people trade. You can see when Nancy trades. And there are people following, taking the time to learn how to follow and learning how to trade. And they're making crazy amounts of money. Just putting it out there. I don't know how to do it. I've never done it, but it is a thing. Let's get into this next clip.
That's why all the congressmen are not calling for them to stop these trades.
Correct.
Right. They don't want.
But my thing is,
if you look at across the board, it's not like all the Democrats. It's fucking everybody. It
Left,
is
right,
a red and blue flag.
Yes.
It's like
They're all
stripe. They're making so much money.
Yes.
It's such a crazy, dirty business.
It
The
is.
fact that they can gamble on things in the stock market where they know that a law is going to be passed. They're
Insane.
literally working on it, and then they buy a bunch of stock beforehand.
It's outrageous.
It's crazy.
How is that
It's
allowed to
criminal.
happen?
I don't understand how it's legal. And fucking what's her name? Martha Stewart went to jail for insider stock trading. That's
always
why
gonna
all the congressmen are not called.
Okay, I didn't even realize. Look at this. Where I got this clip from. And again, I'm not getting paid for this. I don't know this person. But look at the account that posted it. It's called Nancy Pelosi Stock Trader. So this person just follows it. Look, they even wrote, until politicians do something about this, we will continue to let you copy trade them. Wow. Interesting. Again, I'm telling you, I'm not getting paid. I don't know anything about that. I don't understand stocks. It's not my wheelhouse. I've watched my mother build a business from the ground up. It's kind of where I'm at with it as well. Maybe one day if I have, more money and I'll look into diversifying. I think that's the word. But for now, let's just get into this next clip.
I'm sure you're aware of the Nancy Pelosi stuff.
Absolutely.
It's wild.
Economists have studied the portfolios of members of Congress and find they systematically outperform the stock market.
We are a free market economy. They should be able to participate in that.
It's 100% insider trading. It's just crazy that it's legal.
While Congressman Backus was publicly trying to keep the economy from cratering, he was privately betting that it would.
Do you have any idea how hard it is to pretend to be sad when you're making bank?
Why are you worth $200 million? That's crazy. You make $200,000 a year. He's better than Warren Buffett and George Soros, who are like wizards.
And obviously something fishy is going on when members of Congress are doing better in the stock market than Warren Buffett.
How does anything get done when we have Congress people engaging in insider trading?
Things can go off the rails when you're getting your clips off of Twitter. Holy jeez. Anyways, we're going to put this as the last Rogan clip, and then we're going to move on to someone who's actually trying to solve this problem and they have been for years now. I was unaware. For the past almost 3 years, they've been trying to fix this problem. And of course, they've been getting fought tooth and nail over it. Let's go to this last one. Tim Dillon and Joe Rogan.
How does anything get done when we have Congress people engaging in insider trading or out there?
Wait.
Yeah.
Who's doing that?
Pelosi.
Really?
Nancy Pelosi and her husband.
Are you sure?
I would guess. If I had to guess, I would say they are taking information and weaponizing it and using it to enrich themselves.
How is that not illegal? Can you turn the AC
Yeah.
up? It's a little warm in here, Jamie. Crank it up a little bit.
I just don't understand how that's not illegal. I really can't imagine. Did you just see what they asked Nancy Pelosi about it? And she's like, no, not at all.
Yeah.
Just puts the microphone down.
Well, this is
okay, bye.
Part of the reason why somebody like her might want to stay in office forever is because if she gets out, they might start looking into stuff.
Yeah, then they come for her.
Right? So it might be, maybe you go, why is this old? Because she's an old dinosaur.
Yeah,
she's a
81 years old.
pterodactyl.
Yeah.
And you go, why is she in there? And you go, well, part of her being in there might be a way to insulate herself from people looking into things and going, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah, the husband just dumped $5 million into Nvidia right before they put out. They decided to do something with chips. They started to do something with semiconductor chips in the United States.
Right.
So right before they passed this, he goes and spends $5 million on
and those
Nvidia
are the
stock.
Democrats. Those are supposed to be the people that are for the working class, which is like funny.
You know what's weird
And
about
they're
that?
so
He sold it right before it too, which is a very strange thing that happened. I don't understand.
What do you mean? He sold it when it was down and then bought more?
He bought it, and then like a week, it seems like a week or two after everyone started making a note of it, they sold it. And they said like he sold it at a loss.
Oh, he probably had to cover his ass.
See, like right here it says he sold it at a loss.
Wow. He sold it to avoid any misinformation. Click on that.
That was an awkward dinner. Yeah, she's like, get it out, dump it. Can you imagine her just going, dump it, dump it? What did you do, Paul? Dump it.
I told you to do it under another name.
Dump it. Just get rid of it. Are you crazy? Let me tell you something about that article that Jamie did not pull up, because I've watched every episode, so I know exactly which episode this is. The misinformation, they said that he dumped the stock to avoid misinformation because they didn't want people to think that he was buying this stock and profiting over it based on information that Nancy could have given him. And at the same time, everything with the chips was going on. So basically, they worded it in the article in such a weird way where it was like, oh, he's just avoiding misinformation because there's all these people spreading misinformation about how insider trading is happening in Congress. So he basically dumped it in front of everybody and said, I didn't do anything wrong because I didn't make any money. And then the stock actually shot up. So he was going to make money, but he didn't make the money because he didn't want people to know that he got the information from Nancy, because that would have spawned more misinformation about Congress's wrongdoing in insider trading. It was so dumb. I remember reading that article like a dozen times. I was like, I don't know. I'm like, am I reading this right? I'm like, oh yeah, I am. They're just scam artists, obviously. Anyways, this is the gentleman right here who's thinking about changing this law. He wants to know why this is allowed. This is Senator Hawley. I believe it's Josh Hawley. I like this guy a lot, I have to say. Somebody else might say, oh man, that guy in 1992 kicked somebody in the ankle and ran up the stairs and, blew a fire extinguisher in somebody's face. I don't know any of that. All I know is what I see of him in recent clips and hearings that I've watched that are like 2-3 hours long. And this guy really holds people to the fire. Don't know what comes of it when they do that kind of stuff in Congress, like with Ben Shapiro and Joe Rogan, not Joe Rogan, Jordan Peterson. Not sure what comes of it, but I like that he does it. Anyways, Josh Hawley, Senator Josh Hawley, Republican, trying to fix the insider trading that's going on in Congress. Listen to this.
Members of Congress shouldn't be padding their own pockets and lining their own wallets. They ought to be focused on doing what the people sent them there to do. And that means they shouldn't be trying to make a quick buck in the stock market. I mean, listen, if members want to invest, that's fine. They can invest in mutual funds, broad-based mutual funds. But I think the time has come to say that individual members of Congress shouldn't own individual stocks and shouldn't trade in stocks. And that's what my legislation would do. Now, it's already being opposed by Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi, of course, is rich and has millions of dollars in stock and wants to keep trading that stock, as she does. And I just think that is an invitation to all kinds of problems, and the fact that she is so adamantly opposed to giving up control and actually putting her stocks into mutual funds or putting them in a blind trust. She wants to be able to make money off of it. I just think that that's a problem.
Did you see that Patriot's face with blood on it? God bless President Trump, the 47th president of the United States of America. I got another clip for you guys. But it's funny because Nancy Pelosi has been opposing this for a long time. That clip that I just showed you was from 2 years ago when he first tried to present this bill. He did not stop. He did not let Nancy opposing it stop him, slow him down, or anything like that. And in fact, he started teaming up with Democrats. He tried to make this because at first it was like, oh, you're just a Republican and you're trying to go after, Nancy Pelosi and other Democrats. That's all this is. So he actually has made this a bipartisan effort. So he's actually teamed up with a Democrat and they're trying to still bring this about. This clip is only from 3 days ago. So this is very likely going to get passed. Just listen to this.
Let's bring in two of the senators behind the proposal. That is Democratic Senator Jeff Merkley. He's a sponsor of the Ethics Act, and Republican Senator Josh Hawley, who says bipartisanship is dead. Senators, I love that you both came on. Senator Merkley, first to you. I guess my question would be, what took so long on something that I think almost every American would agree with?
You're absolutely right, and that 85% plus of Democrats and Republicans in a poll last year said we should be banning stock trading. It's been now 12 years I've been on this mission. It took so long because most members like to retain this privilege despite the fact that it's a very corrupt practice. It's corrupt because they benefit from advantageous information here on Capitol Hill. They do better than a general stock portfolio. And it's particularly corrupt because people are thinking about their portfolio when they're writing legislation or voting on bills. The bottom line, they should be serving the people, not their portfolio.
Senator Hawley, let's talk about one aspect of it, which is blind trust. Because as Senator Merkley just said, I think most Americans would get behind this. I did my own little X poll. 91% of people who responded, now it is the CNBC audience, said, yeah, this should be banned. But why the blind trust? Do you worry at all that this will keep successful business people who are already rich, from running for office if they can't even have a blind trust?
Not really. I mean, listen, the reason to get rid of the blind trust is everybody knows that it is a giant loophole. Nobody really thinks that the blind trust is blind. You could probably run that same poll on X or go to the grocery store or go to the barbershop. Ask people, do you think when politicians put stuff in blind trust that they're really giving away control? And of course, people say, no, they're not. That's just a loophole. We are closing the loopholes. That's what's significant about this bill. It's a tough bill. Real penalties, real closure of loopholes, and it's going to get a vote the first time that a Senate committee will vote on this legislation ever, and it's going to happen this month.
Senator Hawley, I'll go back to you because we've got, and it's a bipartisan issue. It's a bipartisan problem because both parties, we've had members, many of whom have been on the show, and we welcome them back anytime to talk about it, respect to all, because it is not illegal, are trading, in some cases, a lot, Senator Hawley, thousands of trades a year in some cases. How do they have the...
Sorry, I don't interrupt a lot, but just take those names in, okay? Michael McCall, Texas. Diana Haschenbarger, I believe that's Tennessee, Republican. Josh Gottenheimer, and that's New Jersey, Democrat. Look at that, 1,400. 2,100, almost 22, 5,700, and then we got Ro Khanna, 16,000. These are number of trades, people, in the last 3 years. Absolutely crazy. Just wanted to shed a little light on that. Sorry to interrupt.
The time for this.
That's the thing. I mean, what are members of Congress doing? I mean, are they up here day trading rather than doing their jobs? I mean, take the former Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, is the poster child for this. Her portfolio increased in value, I think, by 50% last year. Cumulatively, members traded almost $800 million in securities over the last couple of years. Republicans absolutely do it, too. It's ridiculous. Nobody should be doing it. Everybody should be focused on doing the job their constituents sent them to do, and that is not to increase the value of their stock portfolio.
Yeah, I want to point that out. Senator Merkley, Senator Hawley's right. It's both parties. You've got senators from and representatives from Texas and Tennessee. I don't think this is a red or blue issue. As we've said, I think it's It's a green issue. Do you worry, though, that there is the insider element, Senator Merkley? Because some of these trades are so timed so perfectly, it would make the greatest hedge fund in the world blush.
Well, think about the fact that when we had the initial information about COVID, there was a briefing about how bad things were before the public was informed, and a group of senators proceeded to trade stocks at that moment based on that information. Now, technically, were they arrested for insider trading? No, that's extremely hard to establish. But yet again, this is far more effective. Insider trading is very difficult to prove, but we have confidential information coming our way every single day. So again, we should not be in the business of trading stocks. Trading stocks while you're writing legislation is wrong. Trading stocks while you're voting on legislation wrong. Trading stocks on this advanced information we benefit from is wrong. It's all wrong. Let's end it.
Okay, well, I know we've got next steps. It seems like a no-brainer layup that this will pass, but who knows? We'll find out. Both senators, I need to also go to a more serious topic, at least in the short term. You talk about trading. Senator Merkley, is it maybe time for the Democrats to trade nominees? Just moments ago, you may not have even seen it.
No, of course not. They should keep that nominee. Joe Biden? Hey. Joe Biden is cogent, okay? Hey, listen, and if you can't handle the truth, F you, because I'm going to tell you the truth. This is the best Joe Biden there's ever been, okay? Joe Scarborough. Oh my gosh, that's a direct quote from Joe Scarborough. Keep him then. It's fine. There's no one's beating Trump now. Just doesn't even matter what they do. No one's beating Trump now. After what's happened, after what they tried to do, no one's beating Trump. Not a Michelle, not a Gavin, not a Whitmer, nobody. Jill, nobody. Obama could come back with a mustache on and be like, "Hi, my name's Barry. Hi." No, not even him. No one's beating Trump now. It's over. It is done. Obviously, still vote. Just saying. But very, very interesting. They're actually taking the work. This is 3 days ago. So in July, sometime, they are going to be presenting this bill, and we'll see what happens. How many people are going to vote against it? I mean, all the ones that do the trading, obviously, they're going to vote against it. There's quite a bit of them that do the trading as well. If you don't know, there's a lot. I mean, how could you resist knowing that no penalty law-wise is going to come your way? No one's going to look into your bank account. No one's going to look into your finances. No one's going to question you. And then the guy beside you's doing it too. How it must be hard for them to resist. It's like, I got $500,000. I can just put it in here. I know I'm going to make millions of dollars. I know for fact in the next few, not even over the next 5 years, in the next few weeks, I know this thing's going to jump up. Like, they could calculate how much money they're going to make. Must be hard to resist, but with what Senator Hawley's doing alongside with his Democrat partner here, I hope this all stops. It would be something, you know? As soon as it stops, this is what's going to happen. The second it stops, Nancy Pelosi retires. Done. She's just like, I don't care anymore. I don't know. I don't even know I'm here. This is ridiculous. Trump's president, and you know, he's releasing the J6ers. This is just dumb. I don't want to be here anymore. That's it. She's just going to walk out. She's just going to bend the microphone up and she's going to throw it and she's going to walk out. Done. We won't see her again. Man. Anyways, thought I'd just bring you guys that. It's a little interesting story. Hope you're keeping your heads up after what happened to Trump. A lot of people are feeling down about this whole thing. But like I said in the comments to one person who said they were heartbroken, you know, you don't have to be heartbroken about this. God is good. The president is safe. He's good. He's not playing around. He has the energy of a bull. He's already back walking around. It's not like he's laid up in a hospital. He's good. From what we've heard so far, it was a graze of the ear. So it really just took maybe a chunk of his ear or just ripped it apart a little bit. Terrible to say. You know, shots rang out and everything, and that's horrible. but he's good. He's good. Stay in good spirits. And you know, Biden's still the same. Jokes aside. Pray for Donald Trump. Pray for the family. Pray for America. Think about that. You know, the only downside of this is whoever did it didn't finish the job. They missed. So now is this going to happen again? Are they going to try and do this again? You know, we have 100 and some odd days before the election. And even into the election, and even after Trump wins, you got to still think about that. But I'm an optimist. I think he's going to be just fine. Keep your heads up. Like, subscribe, notifications. I'm out.